Hello, and welcome to our Sunday meditation at the Light Institute and the Sanctuary of Light. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, we do our meditation in three parts. Three parts so that we're accessing different aspects of our sense of self, of our purpose in life, and of our divine source. We begin with our higher self, which is our own inner voice, the intuitive essence of our soul. And we first ask it to take form so that our human consciousness can have something to link to connect to. Then we have our higher self touch our bodies and we sit in meditation. And then I will make a kind of om sound so that you could push the button on your mechanism so that you put it in pause and so that you can meditate for as long as you like. In the second part of the meditation, we practice the art of radiance because we are all beings of light. And we do this by reaching up into the cosmos and pulling down a beam of white light down to the top of our head and down into our stomach, our solar plexus. This is the center of our emotional body that, of course, really needs that light. And then from there, we laser that light out, straight out and into the sky, or you could imagine it's going across the planet, but out from you, because it's the energy that comes from Source and moves out, the direction of energy that describes what becomes true. And then another Om. And the third part of the meditation, each week there's a situation or something that we want to focus on. You can always send us a message at the Light Institute if there's something that's dear to you that you would like for us to focus on in our meditation. This week, because there's so much pollution in the world, and in one of my Eco SOS projects, we have what we call Blue Sky Challenge. And it's about using our consciousness to clear away the toxins, to clear away the smog and the poisons in the air so that we can breathe. Because when it comes to feeling safe or being healthy, we must above all be able to breathe. And so in this third part, we're going to reach up into the cosmos, reach up into the sky, and imagine that we're gathering all the pollutants and all the toxins that are there. We gather them up into a cohesive ball and we cast them into the unmanifest, so that we're imagining that we are creating a beautiful energy that helps us to breathe and be healthy. Close your eyes. Breathe slowly in through your nose and slowly out through your mouth. Our exhalation helps us to go into a meditative state. Breathe in once more. And slowly exhale. Feel your brain slowing down into the meditative alpha state. And now ask your higher self, your own inner voice, the intuitive essence of your soul, to take a form for you. It could be a light or a being, a tree, an animal, an equation. It doesn't matter the form. Just ask it to take a form. It will choose a form that will support you at this moment, even if you don't know why it's that form. So see what form comes to you now. And ask your higher self to touch your body where you hold your divine essence. And just imagine that touch somewhere in your body and begin to breathe in through that touch. And now draw your higher self in through that point in your body so that you're imagining that you draw it in and you sit with your higher self in meditation as your own true self. And reach up into the sky, into the cosmos, and imagine a beautiful beam of white light. And draw that down through the top of your head. Feel it piercing into your brain and flowing down into your stomach, your solar plexus. And then gather that light and laser it out from you as if you were bringing that beam of light across the planet, out and back off into the sky. And again, draw the white light down and feel it quickening your energies, opening your consciousness, and laser it out from you. And just continue that with your breath, breathing in, drawing it down, exhaling and extending it out through your meditation. Om. Now, allow your consciousness to lift and look into the sky and see any pollutants, any cloudiness, any pollution that is there. Anything that doesn't belong, that blocks the beauty of our blue skies. The same blue sky that covers and caresses our earth and ourselves. And gather that pollutant energy, that negative energy, that toxic energy into a ball. When you get it into a ball, so that you've encapsulated it, just imagine that you're throwing that ball back into the unmanifest so that our skies are clear. And then just breathe deeply and imagine that you're seeing a blue sky and that you are breathing pure air, pure oxygen and prana. Breathe in and breathe out. And just continue to allow yourself to perceive that blue sky, that clear, pure energy, and perceive it that it's traveling across the planet so that every place in the planet is experiencing now that kind of pure energy. Oh. Take a deep breath and open your eyes. I hope that you will do especially that exercise in consciousness about purifying our sky again and again and again, because it will change the sky. And that is something that when you perceive that suddenly the sun is out or the stars are out, and you know that you gave your best to that, it supports an expansion of your own consciousness and a sense of purpose in life. The second part of this meditation is called knowings. And knowings is questions that come from around the world that we discuss in this part, so that it illuminates ourselves, all of us who are participating, and uplifts us, and in a way gives us the way out of anything that we need to let go or to go on from or to illuminate in terms of what is true. And so Allison will give us the questions that have come this week. Allison?
The first question is from Estonia.
Estonia.
In this season of giving, how do we avoid being pulled into the shoulds of giving? I no longer feel compelled to keep up appearances, but how do I not give to someone that I no longer want to give to without offending them? And is it bad karma to suddenly stop a gift-giving tradition when I know it will hurt someone's feelings?
Oh, that's, again, one that many of us must be contemplating it. Do we want to give a gift? Is it just expected of us? But here's the way out. We always think of the gift as a thing. And we often think it has to be something we buy that would please the other person or ingratiate us to them, rather than realizing that you are the gift. In my family, we make food and we give it to everyone in the family. And it's a way of expressing love, again, and comfort and happiness. And so that's one thing, is to make something or to in some way that expresses who you are, and give that instead of the other aspect of buying and selling. And to take that to a deeper level, you could write a poem, you could send a message, you could give a card, you could call on the phone. You can simply say, I'm thinking of you, I care for you, and you are always, I carry you in my heart. So there are many ways that you could circumvent that conversation, because giving something you don't want to give will always be felt on some level by the receiver. We know that the giver has the power, so we want to continue to give into this world. You might give something in someone's name that supports nature, and that's something that I do every year, so that you are really focusing on something that you are passionate about, that you care about, and you are including that other person. So remember that you are the gift, and you don't have to hurt someone's feelings. All you have to do is to communicate to them that you think of them, that you care for them. And that is truly enough. Try it. Allison, the second question.
It's from Washington, D.C. Chris, I work in a global job around human services, and this year I have worked nonstop due to the pandemic. I know I'm very near to burnout, but I have no time to recharge, dream, and relax in the face of constant daily pressures and deadlines. Even at night, my mind races with the details I need to attend to the next day. The urgent problem I face is that I am so depleted, I'm almost to the point of not caring anymore, and this is terribly disturbing to me. Do you have any suggestions on how I can regain my passion to help and to find a balance of time out in a job that requires 24/7 attention?
Yes, I do. And it's about our consciousness, because especially when you're trying to sleep at night and your mind is going over what you have to do the next day or what has happened to you in that day, it creates a squeezing of your heart, a squeezing of your emotional body. So of course you feel a burnout. But the answer to that is to realize that in the midst of all that you're doing, taking care of others, you must take care of yourself, and that is a kind of consciousness. I taught myself to do this, clicking my fingers and saying, I am meditating, so that there's a relaxation in my body. As you're walking down the halls of wherever you work, you could ask your body, where am I holding a relaxation at this moment? Or where am I holding a squeezing? Because what I found is that when we become anxious or overworked, or our mind is busy with things to do, or what we are doing, we actually begin to squeeze our organs, and that takes our breath away, and it slows down the blood flow in our body, and that gives us burnout. So it's not just that you are working, for which we are all so very, very grateful, but you don't have to give your life for that. You do not. This is not the time of the martyrs. You do not have to feel that this is at the expense of your health or your happiness or your life. What you want to do is to walk through those halls with a kind of grace inside yourself and be nourishing you. And of course, one of the things that's so important for people who work with other people who are the givers or the caretakers is that you can't really get it, that acknowledgement or that happiness or that love from them, because you are helping them. So you have to get it from above. You have to get it by drawing this energy down, as we were doing in our meditation a moment ago, reaching up into the cosmos and pulling that white light down. You will find that white light coming through you and radiating out from you will immediately quiet your brain and open any squeezing that you're doing in your body and give you energy. And so realize that you may get rejuvenated by stepping outside and just breathing for a few minutes, or taking a little walk. When it's time for lunch or dinner, take that time. Take that time. It belongs to you. If you do not regenerate, then you can't really be the giver. And so feel as if, what would you like, body? Maybe the body wants something to drink. Drinking water is a way of keeping you from being burned out. Now, my favorite thing for a quick increase in energy is like a child spinning around. Because when you spin in a clockwise fashion, you will spin out the squeezing and the chatter in your mind out from your body. It's like centrifugal force spinning out from you the negativity or the things that are causing you pain or hurt. It's hard to see people die. It's hard to see people suffer. But you must realize that there is something that belongs to their story that is not your story. And what you are doing is giving what you can give, which is your presence, your wisdom, and your help, your love. And that's enough. And some of that has to come through you and within you before it is extended out. So try that. When I first used to do talks, I would go into these little tiny latrine spaces, restrooms, and spin around inside them. And it would take away my fear, and it would take away my squeezing. What will I say? What do I have to do? And it would all fall away. And then the power of purpose and my divine higher self would come through me, and I would relax. You must relax. You must feel the power of bringing to within yourself that energy, because it doesn't come from the coffee, it doesn't come from outside you. It comes from a point of consciousness within you. Be well, dear one. Be well. Great love. Allison, third.
The last question is from Germany.
Germany.
Dear Chris, I have been following your interviews and videos over the past year about how to help the body and how to see our bodies as a friend that needs care and love. I try to tell others about this, but I am surrounded by people, family, who have no idea how to take care of their bodies and don't really care, even though they are declining. I have so much I could offer them now, but they think I'm a nuisance and do not want to hear me, no matter what I say or how I say it. How can I get through to them?
You know, the best way that any of us could ever get through to anyone else is by being the template, by being the example of what it is that we want to extend to someone else. If you say, just let me help you, most people will say, don't help me, I don't need help. And so, indeed, it's almost any of the ways that you could say, let me show you what I know, they would resist. And so by exemplifying that through yourself is the greatest way to do that. There's another point there. Why is it so important to you that they hear you, that they recognize that you know it? Let go of that. Because all of us, it's very human, all of us want people to realize that we have something to offer. We want to give something. But, for example, one way that you might be able to say something like that is to bring it into your own conversation and say, you know, I was having a difficulty with sleeping or weight or some other thing in my body, and I researched it or I studied it or I discovered that if I did this, it would help. And it really has, so I'm feeling so much better now. End of the conversation. Then you're allowing them to say, oh, well, I want to try that too. So if there's something that is true for you, not making it up, but is true for you, that corresponds to something you see in them, then that way it allows them to come to you. It's all about the direction of energy. But the most important thing would be, instead of trying to show them through your words, through all of those conversations, in your consciousness, prepare them by sending them light. What color do you need from me to allow me to share this with you, or to feel that I am your friend, for example. And then whatever color comes into your consciousness, draw that color from the cosmos down through the top of your head. They must choose the color and radiate it out through your solar plexus to them. You can do that before you talk to them on the phone, or before you go to see them, but to begin that way. Or even if you're with them and you want to tell them about something, first, even if you're chatting with each other, in your consciousness, begin to ask them, what color do you need from me so that you could hear this? And you will be amazed, because psychically, intuitively, we all recognize when someone is giving us something we are asking for that we want. And so that is the way to remove the blocks and allow them to feel the power and the freedom of opening. My great love to each and all of you. Until next time.